Hey everybody, in this video we're going to talk about the dot. What is it? What does it do? Why do we have it? Is it important? We use the dot to make notes sound a little longer, but it only sounds longer by a certain amount, and it depends on which note the dot is attached to. This is a dotted quarter note. This is a dotted half note. Both of these things do something different. Let's take a look at these notes and figure out how to use them. The dot. Here it is. Pretty simple. It can connect to any note or rest and it makes things longer. Here's a dotted quarter note and here's a normal quarter note. Normally, the quarter note gets one beat. The dot makes it longer. So we gotta figure out how much it adds to our quarter note. A dot will always do the same thing. A dot will always add half of the value of whatever it is attached to. Normally, our quarter note gets one beat. And the dot means we're going to add half the value. Half of 1 is 1/2. When we add these things together, we get 1.5. And that is how much this quarter note is worth with a dot attached to it. Now let's do the same thing with a dotted half note. Normally, a half note gets 2 beats. If you put a dot next to it, how much is it going to add? Let's figure it out. We take our half note, which is 2. We're going to put the dot, which means add half the value. Half of 2. 2 divided in half is 1. So we're going to add 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So there's no fraction on this. This is 3 beats. Let's do a little bonus round. Here's a whole note. We're going to stick a dot onto it. Normally, a whole note is 4 beats. Let's see if you can figure out how much that dot is going to make it. Let's take a look. Whole note gets 4 beats. The dot means add half the value. Half of 4. 4 divided in half. We have 2 groups of 2. Divided in half. 2 beats. We're adding half. We're adding 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 is how much a dotted whole note is worth. So why would we want to use the dot? If you want to make a sound just a little bit longer, you can use a dot. Let's say here's my rhythm. 1-2, 3-4, la, la. Those are both long beats. But what if I want to make this one just a little bit longer and make this one a little bit shorter? We're still going to have 4 beats, so we still have to equal 4. Right now we've got 2 and 2. Together that equals 4. We're going to make this guy a little more and this guy a little less. We're going to add a dot. So this becomes, go back to our math, 2 plus a half. Half of it is 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3. And that leaves only 1 beat left for the measure. We know that a quarter note gets 1 beat. So we can turn that half note into a quarter note. So before, our rhythm was 1 dash 2, 3 dash 4. Now it's going to be 1 dash 2 dash 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. La, 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 la. Longer, shorter. Longer, shorter. Adding that dot makes things longer. Now let's take a look at dotted quarter notes. Normally, quarter notes get 1 beat each. But when we put the dot on it, it makes that quarter note a little longer, which means we need to shorten whatever comes after. So we normally have 1, 1, 1, 1. All those together equals 4. We got 4 beats. Nice. Let's turn this one into a dotted quarter note. We're going to make this 1 plus a half, which equals 1 1/2. So this is now 1 1/2 beats. 1 and 1 1/2. This is more than 4 right now altogether. So we got to make this guy shorter. Let's make this only half a beat. So what do we turn this guy into? Something that's worth half a beat. The 8th note is worth half a beat. So before we had the rhythm of 4 quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to have this one a little longer, a little shorter. Normal, normal. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Let's make this one the same thing. We're just going to repeat this pattern. Dotted quarter note, 1 1/2. Turn this into a half beat, 8th note. This pattern is pretty cool. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1. So we learned a lot about the dot. It's pretty important and it changes our rhythms. Alright guys, that's the dot. So what do you think about the dot? Is it helpful? Is it a pain? Is it something we can use everywhere all the time? Or is it something that we can throw in every once in a while? It's all up to you. It's your music. So whatever you write, you can decide if you want that dot. Hope you liked this video. Tune in for the next one.